Going on, everybody? Welcome to the Phightins Final. I am your host, Big Mike, aka Big Mike Laro. Of course, I got my partner with me. You just saw us a little while ago for PNM and EAM. Pat Bedard, what's going on? A wild
Mike,
and wacky scene down there at Citizens Bank Park, dude, as the Phillies walk it off in fashion. Bryson Stott knocks in the winning run. Phillies win 3-2. A dominant pitching performance by the Reds. Lodio. Kid was on outstanding. 12 Ks, over 7 innings pitched. He held the Phillies lineup in check. But like I said to you this morning, Pat, you got to get to that bullpen. And unfortunately, that kid couldn't go 9 innings, or else the Phillies would have been in trouble. What's going
yeah.
on, man? What was your take?
Well, first of all, Mike, I totally agree with you. Nick Loda was on fire. 12 Ks for the kid. He was just completely throwing some nasty stuff. However, the Philadelphia Phillies have no quit because once they tried to turn over to the bullpen, it was all Phillies from there. Um, I saw a lot of good things. I saw, again, Nick Castellanos continues showing his ball playing, his plate discipline by going not once but twice, getting some walks. Then you have, again, like you said, the no quit in this team. The bombs, coming up clutch. You have the bombs. You have Sosa's. You have all those guys coming up, and like you said, Brandon Marsh being a really, really clutch player right now. Again, those guys getting on base and then coming around for the dub. Boston Scott will get us in. Oh, no, I'm sorry, Bryson Stott.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, man. The one thing that I've taken notice to with this team is it's not the name guys right now that are, you know, it's not the name guys. It really isn't. The name guys haven't really been doing anything. Castellanos, who's taken a lot of criticism, okay, he's the one that got this ball rolling, man. And I'll tell you what, when he got on third base, I feel like he just I think he turned the whole game around. He really got in Diaz's head. I mean, he's running 40 feet down the line, 40 to 50 feet down the line, distracting him. And I'll tell you what a great job, too, by Alec Bohm. There ain't enough that can be said about this kid. He has just been lights out, man. Lights out. He's able to, he was able to move over Nick Castellanos, you know, getting him over to third. I know a lot of people were probably going to give Castellanos a lot of heat for not scoring on that. I thought it was the right play. There was nobody out. He didn't want to be the first out. You don't ever want to be an out at the plate. So, I mean, it was a smart play by Nick. He held on. What he did to Diaz going down the line, he was 45 feet away from the bag, guys. So you got to figure he's about halfway down the line, because they had moved the third baseman all the way over to like the shortstop position. So as far as the shortstop went away from third base, that's how far down the line Nick Castellanos went. So you got to give Castellanos a lot of credit. I think he really got that ball rolling. Diaz was not the same person after that, and I'll tell you what, man, Pat, going forward here, man, this is starting to ignite this team. Now they got Tawan Walker going tomorrow. This team getting a little mojo going here.
Mike, absolutely right. Look, this is again another ground out win that the Phillies needed under their belt. This is what they needed. Again, where it looks like they were down and out, getting their whole team was getting mowed down. At least one, couple guys going, like look at Trey Turner tonight, right? Three straight outs, three straight Ks. I mean, you didn't think he had a shot in hell of competing in this game, but like you said, you got to the bullpen. The bullpen was the key for this Phillies team. Then you were able to work some things out, and then all of a sudden you started to work yourself out of a jam. Once you saw the two corners being tugged up, and them having some bad troubles with the bullpen, throwing the ball all over the place. That's how you knew, like you could feel a good Phillies win was about to come out of this, and that's why I felt like even being down 2-0 into the ninth, I said, no, the Phillies have a way of coming back. This is, I don't want to say it's way out here, but this reminds me of that '08 team, because when I used to watch that '08 team, there was no quit. It doesn't matter what part of the game it was. You have to wait till all 9 innings to see if this team was going to quit, and this team has no quit. And like you said, this helps the mojo and at home. This is helps you build. Getting ready for tomorrow, getting ready for Easter Sunday for another showdown. If you could get the sweep underneath your belt, that makes, like I said, builds your momentum heading against the fish.
Yeah, and the fish are coming in reeling too. I mean, they went to New York and they got smacked around the last two games. So, I mean, with that being said, I mean, I want to give a little shout out here too to the bullpen today. Be, um, Bellotti, Brogdon, and Dominguez. 3 innings. Okay, 3 innings, 3 hits were given up, but they were just lights out. They gave up a couple hits. Brogdon gave up a couple hits. Dominguez comes in and just shuts the door. Just shuts
Yeah,
the door straight down. And then Vasquez gives up a hit in the ninth. He gives up that earned run. Um, but to be honest with you, even Pache, even Christian Pache got a hit today. So I mean, all things are right in the world when
yeah.
Pache can get a hit.
And like you said too, Mike, like the way they were dealing with the way the Reds were dealing with, in the early part of this game, setting the tone of the game with Spencer Steer hitting that home run. I was like, oh boy, this is signs for a bad day. But like I said, I didn't want to count out. And like I said, that's still an early part of the game. You have to wait till all nine winning innings are played out. So I gave it, their time, and like I said, I had that feeling the Phillies were going to bounce back. I just had a feeling that they were going to grind this one out.
Yeah, man, and Bailey Fowler was good too. I mean, he wasn't good in the beginning. He gave up 4 hits to the first 7 batters of the game, but the Pat after that he was dominant. He shut the Reds down 4 straight innings after that.
Yeah,
So you got to tip your cap. Like this kid has kept this team in the games he's pitched, and this is why I call Bailey Falter our stopper. If you remember last year when they were going in all these losing streaks, the one person who would get them to stop, it wasn't Nola, it wasn't Wheeler, it wasn't Kyle Gibson. It was Bailey Falter. Bailey Falter was the guy who went out there every fifth day. And if the Phillies were reeling on a 2 to 3 game loss, he was the guy that shut the doors for the most
and,
part. So
and you know what, Mike? You bring a good thing about Belly Folder here. You bring a good thing to me because when people look at bullpen games, they're like, they kind of like toss their hands up already. But knowing that you have an extra piece in your bullpen that you can get you win you games like Belly Folder can, that's uh, another something underneath your utility belt. That's another tool you have because, like I said, when it comes to utility bullpen games, he can bail you out of those. And that's what he's been doing. He's been bailing you out of bullpen games. And like you said, when people kind of like overlook him, that's when he comes up big. And Bailey Falter again he got rocked a little bit, but he still maintained his composure. And then when, like I said, the rest of the bullpen came in and did their job. So the arms that are starting to find their mojo. I think they worked out all the kinks since the road trip days. I think everything's starting to turn around for the homecoming. So listen, they're home. They get the Philly, like Connor Tom said on our show this morning, the Philly fans kind of help build the mojo here.
yeah, and here's a little alarming stat for you guys for this game. Okay, if you take a look at the final 3 batters in our lineup, which was Sosa, Stott, and Pache, okay, they were a combined 4 for 9.
Hmm.
So they were almost batting 500. And if you look at it, the only other hits that came in this game, was Brad Marsh's hit in the ninth, and also Alec Bohm. They're the
Right.
only ones right now. They were the only 2 hits besides the bottom 3 guys. So right now, it's the bottom of the lineup that's carrying these guys. You're playing.
Hmm.
We've been saying, a bloop and a blast, but I mean, Turner was 0 for 3, Schwarber was 0 for 4, Real Muto was 0 for 4, Castellanos was 1 out of 2 with 2 walks. He's the only positive right now in the
That's
top
what.
4 batters. So this whole narrative about people getting on Castellanos, I told you, man, when they signed him, I disagree with Connor. Like Connor said, he's going to be one of those to buy. No, dude, Castellanos got a chance to be a legend here, man. That dude can flat out play ball. And you know what? I think he's going to have every opportunity to. I think he's a little more comfortable now. Last year, I told you, I gave him a mulligan. He signed late. By the time he got here, it was like he only had 2 or 3 weeks of spring training before the season started. So,
And to me, like I said about Castellanos, I get it, and Connor's right. He is getting paid a lot of money for powerhouse production. But right now, if he's getting on base and hitting the small ball, who cares? Because you got Schwarber, and at some point you're going to get Harper back, and at some point, you're going to have Turner who's going to be rocking those balls. It's not even hitting season yet, and we're, and again, look, to face the man in the mirror. I'm one of those guys who like to push the panic button early. Guess what? I've taken what I consider with Castellanos. He's a guy who gets on base and he's going to hit the small ball. Now, the thing the most improved about him is his plate discipline. He is not chasing balls. He's not going outside fishing. He's not. He is, taking pitches. Strike one, the first pitch. He's calculating all of his moves, and he's paying the piper, and he's paying dividends for the Phillies. So there's
Yeah.
no complaints about the guy.
No, that's what I'm saying, man. You really, really got to tip your cap to him because, like I said, last year I felt like he was trying too hard. A year ago, now he's not trying. I'm not saying he's not trying hard, but he's not making the same mistakes as he made a year ago. And just to listen, you're right. We do have enough boppers in this lineup, but I would love the fact that if Castellanos and Bohm were going to be our doubles guy, okay,
Take it.
take it. And Stott's looking like he's turned it into a player right before our eyes. This kid, the way he's banging the ball out now, I mean, God, he's batting what? He's batting 419 in this early season. He's batting.
Wow.
I mean, so stop and think about that for a second. I mean, he's our eighth hitter right now. He's batting 419.
Right, and it's that bottom part of the lineup that's really starting to catch fire here. And again, um, you have him, you have Bohm. Again, like I don't count out Bohm. Again, Bohm struck out crazy today. Until the end of the game, he came up with that nice hit up the middle, and then that's like I said, it sets the tone for everybody else. And like I said, if him and Castellanos could start hitting the small ball, and then let everyone else do what they need to do, that's we're gonna be set again. We're gonna be set for the long run again. Right, and look at Brandon Marsh. Okay, he again, the guy doesn't hit, but when it matters, he comes up clutch with some big hits. And his defense has been there. Look at yesterday's game. His defense making that flying diving catch. His defense is crazy. A lot of these guys have learned a thing or two in the postseason, so
Yeah,
they've carried that over to the regular season.
they have. But you know what? In this game as well, you got to tip your cap to the Reds. 15
Oh yeah.
strikeouts today. 15 strikeouts. I mean, God. I mean, I know. Was it Lodoto had 12 of the 15, but Diaz, who unfortunately is going to get the loss in this game,
Mm-hmm.
my man came in. He had 3 Ks.
Yeah.
So in an inning plus. So I mean, come on. To me, the Reds pitching. And I heard it stated yesterday right before the Phillies game. I heard an interview with Rob Thompson. He said their starting pitching in Cincinnati is very good. It's the bullpen they got to get to. And that's
Right.
why when I came on the show this morning, I said, yo, we got to continue to go after that bullpen because if you looked yesterday, the Phillies were okay. They were in a 2-2 game, but, the starter yesterday was blowing the ball by them. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like when this top half of this lineup starts hitting, and then you have this coming behind it in the bottom half of the lineup, this Phillies team is going to be really dangerous. You know our keys, though. The keys is going to be the pitching. Today, you tip the cap to the bullpen. I think Benatti needs a day off. Bellotti, he needs a day off. This is his 8th game already. Give him tomorrow off. Do not make him available. Let him have the day off.
Right.
Uh,
Like you said, Falter, 2Ks. You had Bellotti, 1K, Brogdon, 1K, Dominguez, nothing, and Vasquez, 1K. You had, like you said, the arms in your bullpen, like in these bullpen games, bailed you out once again, and you cannot be mad about that. You have to be pleasantly surprised of what you're seeing. And like I said, people just take Bradley Falter as his day at the beach and like, oh, we can rock this kid, and he comes up to play.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, that was a controversial play too early on in the game when Ponche got tugged out.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
the
with Stott,
challenge.
with Stott, because it looked really close. I thought he beat it at first, and then I was like, all right, he didn't beat it. I'm like, but man, it was so close. And for a while there, you're just sitting there going, oh my God, like, yo, are we really going to lose this game by a run? But you just felt the momentum starting to change. When they pulled Lodoto out of the game, I was like, ooh, I'm like, this is where the Phillies can do some damage.
Right.
And, you were a little pumped because the 8th inning, they had the top of the lineup coming up. You're figuring top of the lineup, All right, yo, come on, boys, let's get it going. And then they go down 1-2-3, and I'm like, oh, you got to be kidding me. I'm like, this is,
Yeah, it was horrible, but like I said, don't count the Phillies because they'll fight you every tooth and nail. And you got, like you said, give it to the bullpen arms because this game, like I said, after that opening hit, Spencer Steer hit that opening home run. Like that's the kind of like that sets the tones for the Reds. Like, okay, this is going to be an easy night, boys. And however, like it didn't phase Bradley Falter. It just kept on doing, get to the next play, get to the next play. Just keep on throwing. Bring your hot stuff, bring your hots. And like I said, all these guys, from Falter, Bellotti, Brogdon, Dominguez, Vasquez, these guys really put in there and hung there and fought this team down to the nitty gritty where the offense kid grinded out a W.
yeah. And I'll tell you what, man, it was awesome. It really was. It was awesome to see. To me, it kind of reminded me of, like you said, what we saw a year ago.
Hmm.
After Girardi got fired, like it's starting to, this can definitely help turn the team around. I know our boy Matty B was probably doing backflips watching this game. Um, so I know Al's probably doing a flip somewhere wherever he was watching this game.
Oh, he's
So,
definitely the Blue Oyster. No doubt about it. He's down
well,
there
I'm
doing.
sorry, I'm not saying blue oyster. I might say with him, it'd probably be the blue clam.
Oh,
So,
okay. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
but
I imagine he's somewhere doing naked cartwheels right now.
oh, come on, dude, really? I mean, I can't say nothing. It's 7 o'clock at night. I can't use the coffee excuse, but come on now.
Well, this is my hour.
Yeah, this is your hour, right? Yeah, you're getting geared up, ready to go. Pat will be dressed in drag by about 45 minutes on
I,
his way.
hey, listen, I have the vest, and that's about it.
Yeah.
Uh,
But going forward tomorrow, if we're looking at this tomorrow, looking at this game, hold on, let me get up here. Get out of that for a second.
well,
Play
well, how
tomorrow.
about this though? I mean, looking though around the league, just looking how though, but I mean, the Braves are still, like I said, as good as we are, or what we're looking at. Braves are still looking pretty strong. Who would ever think the Reds would come? I mean, not Reds, Rays, Tampa Bay Rays would come out 7-0. They're playing like a beast right now.
Yeah, if
Um,
you want, Pat, if you want, I'll read off the. I'm going to read off the out of town scoreboard real quick just to give
yeah,
everybody an update. It was the Twins over the Astros today, 9-6. Um, it was the Cubbies smacking around those Texas Rangers 10-3. The Royals beat the Giants 6-5. Red Sox with an offensive outburst against Detroit, winning 14-5. The
woo,
Mets win 5-2. And of course, those forementioned undefeated Tampa Bay Rays were 11-0 winners over the Oakland Athletics.
going to 8-0.
Right. Right now we have Seattle 3-0, bottom of the fifth over the Guardians. Top of the third, it's the White Sox 2, the Pirates 1. Bottom of the first, it's 1-0 Orioles over the Yanks. Top of the first, 2-0 Cardinals over the Brew Crew. And just getting underway down there in Hot Atlanta, you have the Padres and Braves no score. Coming up at 8 o'clock, you have Nationals Rockies. Also, Dodgers and Diamondbacks. Tonight, you have Blue Jays and Angels doing the nightcap tonight. So there you have it for the out of town scoreboard. That's brought to you by none other than our boy over at
Dolan.
Dolan's Bar, 24 East Sellers Avenue. Guys, if you're in Delco, make sure you come out here and have a good time. He has Quizzo, music, memorabilia giveaways, and you never know who you're going to run into there. Last year during Game 2 World Series, took the wife over there to go watch the World Series game, and who happened to be there that night? None other than the dude, Lenny Dykstra. And speaking of the Phillies, if you don't have nothing to do tomorrow and you want to say maybe, little Johnny's been good or little Pat has been good, you want to take them, to the Phillies game tomorrow, you go to sherrystickets.com, type in promo code EOP10, you'll get a 10% discount. And what you see there is what you get. No hidden fees. So, guys, not just for sporting events, they have concerts, theater tickets. Make sure it's been family owned and operated since 1946. Guys, make sure you get over there to sherrystickets.com. And if you should be at the game and, you're sitting next to a Reds fan and something happens and you need the little, little consultation there, make sure you check out our guy, David R. Cherry, at 610-565-0300 for workers' compensation, motor vehicle accidents, personal injury, and criminal law. Check out our boy, David R. Cherry. And last but not least, guys, it looks like coming up in May, I'm sorry, end of this month, PhillySportsTrip.com, they have a great package going right now for the draft out in Kansas City. And if you want to make it a Philly-Denver weekend in the middle of May, you definitely can do that. The Union will be out there playing soccer against Colorado. The Phillies will also be in Colorado the same weekend playing the Rockies. So, hey, make it a Denver weekend. Go out there, have fun. And for all our soccer nuts, London and Leeds, the Union, the May 24th to the 30th, across the pond, when they go over there to play their friendlies, guys, make sure you definitely get over there and check them out. And, guys, just one more thing. Right here, this is our lineup for the week. But me and Pat will not be on tomorrow morning because we were on this morning. Pat has a bunch of kiddies. I got a bunch of grandkiddies. We got to do our thing. So I will be doing my thing tomorrow. Pat will be doing his thing with our families. All you guys enjoy your day. But when you're done eating all that ham and cabbage and stuff in your face, make sure you come on 9 o'clock all across, all the time. We have Muffler Mike on this morning with us. And, of course, after the Phillies game tomorrow, roughly around, I don't know, probably 4 or 5 o'clock when that game ends, make sure you tune in to the Phightins final tomorrow. And then there you go. And then the Sully Squad kicks everything off on Monday night. So, guys, there is our lineup. Pat, man, what can I tell you? 3-2.
We'll take it.
We'll take it.
We'll take a grind out dub.
Now, tomorrow, the big question, what are you having for your meal watching the Phillies tomorrow?
Well, you said it perfect, Mike. I'm going to have some big giant thing in my face. I'm going to get myself some big ham, salt food mac and cheese, you name it, the 5-layer cheese. It's going to be a good Phillies. And I feel like the Phillies are going to get the brooms out tomorrow for the Reds.
I do, too, as well. Phillies got Taiwan Walker going tomorrow. I think he had an extra day's rest. So with the skipping the day, with the rain out on Thursday. So I like the Phillies as well tomorrow. Myself, I don't know what I'm doing yet. I got to go see my father-in-law. Unfortunately, he's in a nursing facility, so we will be up there with him. So maybe we'll do something afterwards.
Well, listen, Mike, I got plenty of ham, so if you need meat in your mouth, I'm the guy you want to
No, Patrick, I appreciate that, but I will take some of Mo's mac and cheese, though, because I know Mo's a killer cook. I love her to death. So tell the wife and the kids, from my family to yours, have a happy Easter. And for everybody out there, have a happy Easter. Guys, this has been the Phightins Final. I'm Big Mike, and guys, we're out.